What's up, guys? Dope Randy back at it again with another video. And this time it's the round of 8, second race of 3 from the famed Talladega Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama for the running of the Sports Energy 300. Now, guys, I'm going to be 100 with you, like I always am. I am scared to death because I hate restrictor plate tracks with a passion. And it's just, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Just everyone is so close to each other, going so fast. It makes me nervous, and whenever I see the big one, I feel like I'm like a deer in the headlights. And especially in the situation that I'm in, I'm coming into this race, I'm 5 points out of 4th to T-Mills in the 40. And I'm only 1 point ahead of Hunting in the 60. And so I feel like those are the 3 guys I'm racing with today, basically. Of course, the goal is to qualify, but especially right here, right now, I need to qualify at least top 5, or maybe 6th, if you know what I mean. I need to stay ahead of all the trouble. And in case you're wondering, if you want to qualify in the back, you're gonna get caught up in, even if you miss a crash. You're going to have to slow down so much that it's probably not even, that it's just not going to, it's going to, even if you do miss it, with all your momentum lost, you're going to be towards the back anyway. So as you can see for qualifying here, I got stuck in the outside. And the outside line is just straight, getting lapped by the inside. As Scrub makes a ballsy move to go ahead of the 51. I'm going to have to do something to that effect. But then the 22 and the 16 go down on the apron. And that gets everyone all crazy. And I mean everyone gets all squirrely. And then I think Hunty is being a nice gentleman and putting me in on the inside. So thanks for that. As we got 4 laps to go, I am leading this pack. As you can see, there's 2 distinct groups, actually 3 distinct groups, my bad. The first group of about 6. Then the next group which I'm leading has about 4 or 5. And then everybody else, which is another 5 to 6. So, the goal here, don't screw anybody up, and just try to catch the lead pack. Now, if you know restrictor plate racing, the worst, if you want a fast time, the absolute worst spot to be in is in the front. But I get a pretty good time right there, kind of a 52 flat. But yeah, the problem about being in the front, you have no momentum. As you see Hunty and literally everyone stacking up behind me. And I mean, I feel like I'm not in trouble yet. But I feel like something's got to change as Matt gets into the wall and he falls back to the second pack. As we're going to come to 2 laps to go in this qualifying. Of course, at Talladega, you want to be on the bottom at all times. Going high does nothing for you on speed. Now, I kind of make a strategy call right here. Because I do see that if I'm in the front, nothing's going to happen for me. I'm just going to start in the back. So I go from the front of this pack to the fourth car in this 6-car line. In a perfect spot, I would have want to be where Matt's is. But, you know, everything can't be perfect in this life. So I'm just hoping and praying that these three don't crash, or me going to the back is going to be a waste of time, as I get a 51.53, which is the fastest lap I've ran, even when I'm dropping to the back. And so I'm pretty much just keeping my foot in it, letting out when I have to, and then in the tri-oval just gas it. And no lift. Now, if you can notice throughout qualifying, we have been catching that little 5-car pack, 5-car pack. So I feel like we're going to get good qualifying times if we all just hold it. Now, T-Mills goes high. I think he went high a little too early.
Still there. All right.
As I get a little squirrely.
Just a bad luck out there. Maybe that.
And Sharp goes high, and that was okay. And that's what it was. It was okay. Man, that was nuts. I mean, that was really nuts. But, I don't know, I didn't get the lap time, but I feel like as long as I'm not in the middle of the field, aka the danger zone, and at Talladega and Daytona, I feel like the danger zone or the drop zone increases because since everyone is so close together. So pretty much the only safe spots on the track is first. But as we get ready to see where we're going to be at, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this from my racing leagues. In which, by the way, if you haven't seen my last video, I'm sad to report that the Days of Thunder League, the DOT, has disbanded effective last week, and that's why nothing came out last week. But I have a surprise for you, and we'll see if it gets fulfilled or not. So as you see, I qualified 6th, which is okay. That's good. Now T-Mills got the pole at a 50.97. Now look how now if you notice, look where all the top starting spots are coming from. If you notice, T-Mills is on the pole. Waltstar got 2nd. And then look at this pack. Me, Sharp, Mats, Clayboy, Maverick, Hunty. 2 out of the top 9 starting spots came. 7 out of the 9. 7 out of the top 9 starting spots came from that pack that I was in. And if I didn't bobble, I might have been on the pole. But that's for another day, because I didn't realize it was that close. But it's whatever. I'm starting 6th. The goal, get to the bottom of the track as soon as possible. And pray that nothing falls my way. Because especially right here, right now, if I have one bad race, I'm going to have to win Phoenix. But I want to point my way in as a good fallback. So here we go. First lap, you can already tell the tension and feel in my voice. But as expected, they're getting really close up there in the first couple of rows. as Phantom just straight shoved Sharp out of the way.
We're in the middle. Clear high.
And I'm just going to stick it on the outside, as Phantom is lagging really bad on my screen here. And I'm just praying that he doesn't do anything stupid. Like anything stupid. As I see a chance to go to the bottom, I drag Maverick off my bumper just a tad and get around him. Get around Watchstall. And I'm on the inside lane in 4th place, which is exactly where I want to be. Then Phantom gets loose, or I think he hit a lag spike, and I'm now up the field, and this is exactly where I want to be. Now, you can tell by the tension in my voice, I don't like restrictor plate racing. And normally when one doesn't like this track, one doesn't have confidence in any moves. And that was kind of me, as I was not going to make a move unless I knew it was going to work. And other than that, I was just going to stick this number 6 Globe Life Insurance Ford Mustang to the bottom of the fucking track. And if they pass me on the outside, they pass me on the outside. As I got Hunty behind me, and I think he got crashed right there a little bit. And then there they go. So it's pretty much a 3-car breakaway at this point. So that's pretty great. That is something I love. A 3-car breakaway. Now the problem, and damn it, T-Mills and Matt are teammates at Team Celtic, and I'm the only T-Bone guy in this, with a dog in this fight. So those two are going to work together. Meanwhile, I'm literally just going to hope and pray that these two screw up communication or whatever. And as if I even try to go to the outside, which I won't, because I don't trust myself in this situation, no one's going to go with me. And then you got to think about strategy for the next stage, because as you can see by that field counter, 7 laps. It's 7 laps. And the next stage is 5 laps. So if I can just save a little bit right here, not try to push it, I can be confident for stage 2 as I try to make a move on the outside. But like I figured, ain't no one gonna go with me, because you gotta love that Team Celtic power, as I'm just gonna hang back and third, not do anything stupid.
Stay on the bottom, hold your line.
As I'm gonna let T-Mills win the stage. Matt is going to get second, and I'm going to get third. That is a pretty good stage for me. The only problem about that stage was who won. No offense, but it is what it is. And so now the gap between me and T-Mills is 7. Keep that in your mind, 7-point gap between 4th and 5th. As Hunty didn't even get a stage point. And Sharp was 8th. So he only got 3. So I pretty much pulled gaps on a bunch of people. We'll just say a bunch of people. So it's going to be me and T-Mills. for stage 2,
Low.
in which we did not pit, as I feel like I'm on the number to make it for stage 2. Like literally on the number. And as Slap Nuts gets all crazy and they get squirrely, I'm gonna trail brake a little bit. And I think Maverick has no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna trail brake a little bit and go to the bottom. And Maverick thanks the Lord, thankfully, follows me. And we're gonna get around Major Spy, and I'm in third again. And it's pretty much the exact same situation that we were in. A short park decides to be a bulldozer, and they go into the grass, or he goes into the grass. They all save it for now. They're still within striking distance up this pack. Yeah, Sharpot just trying to be desperate, try to get those stage points. Way too early for that, bud. And so Maverick, I appreciate the move, and he's going to have help with Major Spy. But as you can see, 4 is going to beat 2, or 5 is going to beat 3 every time. And we're just going to straight muscle them as Beaten and Bacon goes on in the back. Now I got my teammate in Scout Bonk in 4th, and I told him I'm not going to push this issue, like, at all. As they try to make the outside work again. But like I just said, 4 versus 2 is not going to win. I mean, the 2 is not going to beat the 4 at any time. And so basically just chilling in 3rd place. Now, we got some players in this field. We got Screb leading his first laps of the season, I think. Team Mills is in 2nd, I'm in 3rd, Scott's in 4th. And Maverick, he's going to give that high line every chance he's got, I tell you. But eventually, it's going to lose out in the long run. As they get loose behind me. But we're coming to 1 lap to go in this stage. Not really thinking about the stage win, just thinking about not crashing. As we got 1 lap to go in this 1 lap to go in this stage. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. #cheap plug. The field light came on in turn 3, so I'm okay on that. As with a little brake check. Not a lot, but a little. As Clayboy has now jumped up into the top 5. As we're coming into turn 3 for the final time. They're starting to swerve a little bit. Maybe I could have gone down, but I don't want to force it. And now I got a block.
Arlo.
As I get third, Scrub wins his 4th stage of the year. And Clayboy gets 4th. But as you'll see, I mean, Hunty again doesn't get stage points. Again, Hunty didn't get stage points. And Sharp got 7th, so he'll get how many points? 4 stage points. So I have completely positioned myself between those two, away from those two, and me and T-Mills. And by the way, the gap is now up to 8, since he finished second and I finished third. So I'm keeping in touch with him. But as we go to the final stage, and I'm just hoping and praying I don't get involved in this. I'm just hoping and praying I don't get involved in the eventual wreck that's bound to happen at any second. As we got people pushing and brake checking, me and T-Mills are still nose to tail, just like it has been for the entire race.
All clear.
As I'm starting to see the light, as we got a crash behind us, and I get around hunting, and now it's a 7-car breakaway on the inside. Now it's 8. It's pretty much the inside breakaway. And T-Mills goes to the outside and gets hung out to dry as he falls back in line.
Clear.
Loses a couple of spots though. So, as Cowboys, I tell you, these guys are starting to get crazy uphill. As Scrub now gets on the outside, and I'm not letting him back in for anything. So I'm up to 6th. Scout's up to 5th. This moment in the game, as I don't want to move an inch. So we got 12 laps to go. Now, I haven't said this once, but one full tank is about 10 and a quarter laps as they get squirrely back there. And they all get squirrely. But I think everyone's going to make it. As this inside line just checks up so much. That they will eventually catch back up to us. But 6 cars on the inside line might be the move, or it will be at this moment in time.
Clear up top. That was a great lap.
So we got 11 laps to go, and we're basically running the qualifying laps from Oriole.
Carlo, clear up top.
So at this point, me and Scout is literally talking to each other, talking about when do we want to pit. I wanted to pit on this lap. As you can see, it is getting absolutely haywire as everyone is starting to swerve and go nuts. As everyone is in this pack. Well, not everyone. I'd say about the first 10, 11 people is within this pack. As we're coming to 10 laps to go. Sponsored by Gatorade. Hashtag cheap plug on that one. As we don't come down on that lap. And now... And the reason we didn't come down is because 2 people could not generate the same speed and the same power as the 7 to 8 car pack. And we felt like that would have been too detrimental for our chances to win. As Hollingsworth gets shipped out of line. And I tell you, these guys are relentless. If you go on the outside just a touch, they're going to push you out of the way. And you're going to fall back in this line. As I'm giving Scout all the room on the planet. As we got 9 laps to go. You absolutely cannot make it to the end on gas, so don't even think about it, as we have a lap car that's getting very close to the track. But it's not there. As the leader is still... Who is that? I think, is that Major Spy? No. Well, I don't know. That might, I don't know. Anyway. We're coming to what? 8 laps to go? Oh no, 7. No, it's 8. 8 laps to go. As you're starting to see the activity go up little by little. And whenever you see people going full throttle in the apron, that is not a good sign. And I'm just praying that I don't get put on the outside, because that's just going to put me in a bad spot. An absolute terrible spot. As Maverick is straight shoving me for everything he's got. Just trying to lag brake. Just the tiniest little bits, so that I'm not pushing Scout like a mother, and I can still can keep control. Now, big power play. You saw those group of cars coming down pit road. That's the first group that's going to come down pit road. As soon as that happened, you can tell there's been a game that's been played, and everyone else in this pack is going to come in the next lap. So we're queuing up on the radio and hoping and praying that everyone around us knows this. So, as we got a lap call, we're going to get around. And this is going to get a little hairy, because he hit, as the 16 tries to come back up. And Maverick doesn't give me any room, and I'm going to hit the fence. But this may turn out to be the best thing, because look what happens to this pack. They're going to go absolutely haywire. And we get lagged. And then T-Mills, with the save of his life, as he's just going to straight shove me all the way down pit road. Like, what an absolute champion. Like, and you'll see what happens here. Crazy, crazy turn of events. The 3 people that get shot like a cannon. Me, the 19 of Rockstar, and the 40 of T-Mills, just are the top 3 people coming out of the pits. And that was absolutely nuts. But yeah, how about these turn of events? The top 3 are probably the last 3 people that came into the pits, because me and Timo's were the last 2. Because I think Timo's got squirrely and got hit from when that we was passing the lap call. I got squirrely from Maverick and he put me in the wall. And I think Rockstar was like the last major guy. He was the last guy to enter pit road from that top pack. And so and then Maverick, it's gonna get hung out to dry on pit road. And because of shenanigans and pit road tomfoolery, the top 3 guys are me, Rockstar, and T-Mills in ascending or descending order. And so now it's just a matter of who can hold the best line. Who can hold the best line? Who can hold the best line and go the fastest? That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. As you saw in pit road, I put my PSI all the way up at 50. Maybe in hindsight I shouldn't have done that, because me and Rockstar are pretty much on the same chain. We are catching T-mills though, but here's the problem. Rockstar is going to get in T-mills' draft, okay? He's going to get into T-mills' draft, like now. He's catching this draft and he's going to stick to the back of him. And then that leaves me out in the cold. Basically, that's pretty much what it's going to mean. So unless those two crash, I'm going to be stuck in third place. As those two all going side by side. As we got 3 laps to go. And so I'm basically hoping and praying that I'm hoping T-Mills does not win this race, cause that would just be terrible timing for the situation. Yeah, that'd be absolutely be terrible for the points, as far as the points they go. Because all of the fighting and momentum that I just talked about would be out the window.
2 to go.
And I would basically have to win Phoenix to get a chance. Now, as you can see, we're also going to have another problem. You see Cowboys and Mail, if you've been watching the leaderboard closely, you'll see that they are closing on me, and they're closing me quick. And by the way, up towards the front, Rockstar and T-Mill, Rockstar in a act of anticlimaticism just goes around T-Mills, no problem. But then T-Mills is going to get to the side by side of them right here. As we're coming to 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. They're all going side by side. Now, you're going to see Cowboys and Mayo and all them, they're going to come to me, and in a poor act of judgment by Cowboys, he just goes straight to my back bumper for God knows why. And he just destroys that big long line. So I'm pretty much, I was going to set like 7th or 8th, and now I'm going to get failed. Unless you see what happens and T-Mills runs out of gas. You cannot script that any better, ladies and gentlemen. As Rockstar is going to win, and I'm going to finish second. I was still yelling, you have got to be kidding me. Like, you just can't make this up. I don't know what he was doing or what he was thinking. But he runs out of gas, battling for the win. And he's going to go from maybe a win to 8th. And the gap is now 2 points. As me and T-Mills are literally going to have a best. Whoever has the best day at Phoenix is going to probably move on into the 4th spot. Because Scout, he's in it. Scout's basically in. Based on the season-long domination he had. 75 playoff points. I mean, you just can't teach that. Major won the last race. Rockstar wins this race. So there's 1 spot open, and it's going to come down to me and T-Mills. I mean, you cannot script this any better. As he gets 8th, and I get 2nd. It's 2 points of separation. And So we're going to go into Phoenix for the last race. As you can see, I did not have a fast lap time at all. But we're going to go into Phoenix. Basically just trying to outperform T-Mills. And seeing... and let the chips fall where they may. Now I will say this. There was also another goal. If you finish top 5... in the points, the total points, you also get promoted in the Cup, along with the Championship 4, and that's the season-long goal for the Xfinity Series. And I feel like me and Timas have 5th place, at least on clamps, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a fun one, and I tell you, I can't wait to show it to you. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, and... wait. My phone just alerted, guys. I'm sorry. Oh my god, that changes everything!